Sairam. Today's topic is Shiva. All about Lord Shiva. When we say all about Lord Shiva, it is very difficult to comprehend everything about Lord Shiva. But to the best of our ability, to the best of our knowledge, what is it that we understand about Lord Shiva? How do we perceive him? Right now, we have an opinion, and the way we perceive Lord Shiva, is it the right way? Is it correct? Or have we even mulled over that topic or that entity called Lord Shiva to even understand, or are we just going by the belief system which we have inherited from our forefathers? So let us talk about Shiva. Who is Lord Shiva? Right? Now, the moment when we say Lord Shiva, we get the figure, a tall, lean man, darkish complexion, with a blue neck, a serpent around his neck, matted hair with a jata, and a trident, a trishula, and a tiger skin around his waist, and a damaru. Then possibly you will think about Nandi, his mount or his vehicle. So these are all the things which comes to us. And of course, the bhasma around his forehead and on his arms, and then Rudraksha. So all these things come to our mind. This is a typical, stereotypical understanding of Lord Shiva. But is that all? Is this all? And when we talk about philosophy or try to understand Lord Shiva, we feel that, okay, he's a destroyer. Simple. So we are done. So let us take a step back and understand. We have a different perspective. We have additional insights into this entity called Lord Shiva, or anything that we dive deep into as Avadhutas, Kulavadhutas. We apply our logic, Dana Bhakti Karma on everything, and then let's understand. Firstly, where is the mention of Lord Shiva? First mention of Lord Shiva. How is it mentioned? Where is it mentioned? Let's go back. In our known literature, where is the mention of Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is mentioned in Rig Veda. In Rig Veda, Lord Shiva has not been mentioned as a Shiva, he is mentioned as Rudra. Rudra is the name of Lord Shiva. Original name of Lord Shiva is Rudra.
रुद्र
Rudra,
शिव जी को नाम क्यों रुद्र?
RudraMama, is it your baby girl?
can you please mute yourselves? It's getting recorded. So Rudra is the name of Lord Shiva, the original name of Lord Shiva, Rudra. Now it is mentioned in Vedas, Rig Veda particularly. So how Rudra became Shiva? As we went ahead, or as the Vedas started percolating over the period of time on the mankind, how did it happen? There is one main attribute of Rudra, which is that of a liberator. Liberator from the clutches of birth and death. Liberator from the clutches of Maya, the illusion. The one who is the purest of the purest one. So the transliteration of the word Shiva is derived from the attributes of Rudra or the qualities of Rudra. Rudra's qualities the pure one, the purest of the purest, and also the liberator of our lives from the clutches. So that attribute in Sanskrit is Shiva. So Rudra and his qualities and attributes made him Shiva. So how Rudra became Shiva, number one. Number two, like when it comes to the belief system about the Holy Trinity, the Holy Trinity typically talks about the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer. So this is in the sequence. It has always been stated. But if you look at it, okay, creator being the Brahma, the preserver being Mahavishnu, and the destroyer being Lord Shiva. These are the three things. And we put it in a table. First is Brahma, because the creation had to happen. What was created had to be sustained, so that is Vishnu. And what was created, which was sustaining, will eventually end, will be destroyed, is Shiva. This is how our understanding is, at least people who have dwelled on Lord Shiva. At least this is what we believe in. We choose to take a different step or opinion about it. For us, Lord Shiva is a destroyer of evil, destroyer of fear, destroyer of negativity. For us, he is not just a destroyer. In fact, he is not a destroyer at all. He is a slayer of forces of darkness. Shiva slays the forces of darkness. That is what Lord Shiva is. He is not a destroyer, he is a disruptor. Everything, like even as per the science, everything started with a big bang. The explosion and implosion. The beginning happened because of that destruction or disruption or the explosion or the implosion. That tattva is Shiva. Shiva tattva is not just a destroyer. It is a big, big misconcept. He is not a destroyer. Even if you believe that, yeah, he's a destroyer, he's more of the one, that disruption or the explosion and implosion which caused the creation, that tattva is Shiva. Without that, even the creation would not have happened. That is the right understanding of Shiva. Shiva is beyond even the creation. Shiva is the cause of creation. The destruction as an attribute is the cause of even the creation. That is Lord Shiva. So Shiva is not a destroyer. He's a protector. Destroyer, of course, of darkness, forces of darkness, negativity, fear, anxiety. All these things he destroys. Protector. So Shiva is not a destroyer. First, let us arrest that. Right? He is an embodiment of love. Shiva is not to be feared. We'll come to that, what Lord Shiva's and his attributes are. Now, as I just mentioned, when we think about Lord Shiva, we see that lean, tall man, and then, all the depictions of Lord Shiva with the fierce Trishula and Damaru and Sarpa, Neelakantha, with the tiger skin around his waist, and Rudrakshamala and Jata and Ganga on his Jata, and then the crescent moon on his head. I mean, this is the typical thoughts. Typically, this is how we think Lord Shiva is as an appearance. But if you look at it across the world, there is not a single temple which worships Shiva in a form. Not one. I mean, if some new Shaivites or Shiva Bhakts have put this Shiva's Murti and started worshipping, it is wrong. Shiva has never been worshipped in the form of a human. Nowhere. He's always been worshipped as a Shiva Lingu, the Linga. Never ever has he been worshipped as a Murti or as a human form. This is the disconnect. Shiva is not just to be viewed or accepted or absorbed as in a human form. If that were to be so, there would have been the Murtis of Lord Shiva and it would have been worshipped. No, there is not a single. There are statues of Shiva, no doubt, everywhere, many places, the long, tall ones, but the worshipping of Lord Shiva always happens as Shiva Linga. So this is the disconnect between how we imagine and how Lord has been worshipped. Lord Shiva is always worshipped as a Shivaling. Now, why he has been worshipped as a Shivaling, we will come to that. Now, when it comes to Lord Shiva, the other misconception about Lord Shiva is that people say, oh, he's fierce. He's very, very fierce. He cannot be disturbed. He's strict. He's absolutely no nonsense. He's always on the verge of losing his temper. Shiva has to be feared. Shiva has to be, you have to be scared of. Shiva has to be looked up with absolute obedience, servitude. With Vishnu Bhakt, it is not so. Vishnu Bhakt, there is a Madhurya Bhava, there is Madhura Bhava, there is Gandharva Bhava. So people worship Vishnu in different ways and forms with love and other things. Shiva is not being worshipped so. Why? Should we really fear Lord Shiva? Certainly not. Lord Shiva is embodiments of peace. Lord Shiva never gets angry often. Lord Shiva is as calm as a deep ocean. Lord Shiva is as vast as a sky. Lord Shiva is eternally in a meditative state. Lord Shiva is an absolute sthita prajna. Lord Shiva is a Satchidananda. Yet, being a sthita prajna, being a Satchidananda, Lord Shiva is the most benevolent. Lord Shiva responds to his disciples and devotees with very least amount of efforts. Lord Shiva is a giver. Lord Shiva is a forgiver. Lord Shiva is peace. Don't misconstrue Lord Shiva as fierce. Yes, there is a fierce form of Lord Shiva. If you look at Vaishnavism and Shaivism, Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Lord Vishnu has taken several births as a fierce, avatars, slayer of demons. But Shiva hardly. He is absolute peace. So this misconception about Lord Shiva we have to remove. And most importantly, what is Lord Shiva? He is a protector. Lord Shiva in Nepal is called as Pashupati. Pashupati is a protector of cattle, protector of animals. Pashu is animals. Pashupati is the one who is a protector of animals. Pati, transliteration is not husband. Pati is a protector. So Pashupati, why would he protect? Why is he doing it? Because he loves. Lord Shiva is pure love. He's pure compassion. He protects everybody. There is no discrimination. Now coming to the other most important part of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the most non-discriminatory entity. Lord Shiva is being worshipped by both Devas and Asuras. That is demons as well as gods. Why? I mean, now, for example, even if we see Ramayana, Lord Shiva is worshipped by Shiva. I mean, sorry, beg your pardon. Lord Shiva is worshipped by Ravana. Lord Shiva is worshipped by Rama. And both have been blessed. Non-judgmental. Lord Shiva is non-judgmental. No, Lord Shiva doesn't discriminate anybody, whether sinner or pious, rich or poor. No matter what you are, you pray to me, here I am. Easiest to approach, easiest to please. He doesn't need even to get pleased. He is absolute sthita prajna. Despite being in a meditative state all the time, he is responding to every prayer of his devotees and disciples. That is Lord Shiva. Why some questions will arise and people may even ask that why is it that he is so, giving even to the asuras? It is wrong. I do agree. But what is it that Lord Shiva is? He says that there is no sinner, there is no pious. It's all the same. Truly the Advaita. Advaita in its true essence is Lord Shiva. He is a slayer of the negative attributes of asuras, not the asuras. He removes them. He slays the negative attributes of the people, not the people. So this is all about Lord Shiva and his attributes. Now, there is this aspect of Lord Shiva, the Nataraja, the cosmic dance of Lord Shiva. What is it about Lord Shiva's cosmic dance? Nataraja Murti is installed in front of the world's biggest and the best, physics laboratory called the CERN, CERN in Switzerland. Nataraja's Murti is kept there. Why is it that? Because Lord Shiva's cosmic dance, eternal dance, denotes the cycle of creation and destruction, beginning and sustenance and the end, the cycle of eternal dance of Lord Shiva. The beginning to re-beginning, the cycling back and circling back, everything is eternal dance of Lord Shiva, Nataraja. So Nataraja is one of the avatars or one of the aspects of Lord Shiva. Right? These are about the attributes of Lord Shiva. He is absolute peace. There is no need to fear. It's his only love, but always a sthita prajna, non-judgmental, peaceful love, embodiment of love. That is Lord Shiva. So there is no need to fear Lord Shiva. We can only love Lord Shiva. Right. Now coming to our one thing which we are yet to address. The beginning of yoga. Yoga in terms of the meditative process to attain oneness is from Lord Shiva. By default, as I said, meditative process of attaining oneness. There are different types of yoga. Bhakti yoga is also a yoga. Jnana yoga is a yoga, right? There are different types of yogas, but the ones who choose the path of meditative process to dissolve and become one with the divine or the self or the aham, the Brahman and the aham, that process, if somebody has to follow, they will have to emulate Lord Shiva. There is no other choice other than emulating Lord Shiva. Why so? What is it that Lord Shiva teaches us in his presence, in his, the life, the way he lives? Lord Shiva is the best of Grihastha. Not to forget. Let's take it as it is depicted. Lord Shiva is a perfect grihastha. He has a wife, he has two children, two sons, he looks after them. He is the best administrator. He has the entire set of ganas around. He has Nandi, his mount. He has every aspect, like, the whole attributes and whatever his roles and responsibilities towards the worldly existence, he discharges it. Yet he is in a meditative state. Yet he is a sthita prajna. Yet he is always a yogi. Yet he is a Satchidananda. Despite all these things, the biggest takeaway for Kulavadhutas. Sometimes we wonder, how do we balance the spiritual progression and managing the worldly existence? We have no choice but to emulate Lord Shiva. If you look at the way it is in Lord Shiva, he's been presented to us. It's exactly how we should be. He is undeterred. He is always in a meditative state. He is a sthita prajna, not influenced by negativity or the positivity. Joy and sorrow, nothing touches him. Complete state of sthita prajna. Yet he manages the world. Yet he manages the family. It's a metaphor, it's an example, or whatever you look at it. But we have to, how one has to be to evolve and dissolve is by emulating Lord Shiva. There is no other choice. Living in the worldly existence. That is why Lord Shiva is also being called as Adi Yogi, the primordial. Adi is primordial, not old or ancient. The first, the primordial. If anybody has to talk about the yoga, yoga is what? Union. Yoga, to become one with thyself, Brahman, non-dualism, or we and our Guru, anything. Oneness, the ultimate oneness, yoga. If somebody has to go through the meditative process, as I just mentioned, it has to be through emulating Lord Shiva. There is no choice. There's absolutely no choice. And for a yogi, we the yogis who walk on the path of Kundalini Yoga, symbolically, we feel, the Swayambhu, not symbolically, sorry, factually, the Swayambhu that we worship or we look up to, the first Swayambhu means the one which was born by itself from within itself. There is no one who created it. Theory of occurrence, Swayambhu, the one which formed by itself. That Swayambhu is Shivaling, which we worship in the temples. That Swayambhu is Lord Shiva. And the energy around Lord Shiva, the attribute of Lord Shiva, the manifestation of Lord Shiva's thoughts into reality, the compassion of Lord Shiva came in the feminine form, which is Kundalini. Is Kundalini different? Is Swayambhu different? No, they are not. They are the same. They are the same. It's an attribute of Lord Shiva. That is exactly why Lord Shiva has also been referred to as Ardhanarishwara, both male and female. Swayambhu Kundalini, both are Lord Shiva. There is nothing which is beyond the truth of Lord Shiva. Unless and until we don't understand Lord Shiva, emulate Lord Shiva, practice the path of Lord Shiva, which is shown to us, our yoga sadhana, Kundalini yoga sadhana, whatever, there is no way. So we need to understand Lord Shiva in order to progress in our yogic order. There's no choice. He's an absolute complete yoga. He himself is yoga. Yoga, the union. The dhyana, if we have to talk, it is Lord Shiva. The meditativeness, Lord Shiva. Nirvichara Samadhi, Lord Shiva. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Lord Shiva. Sthita Prajna, Lord Shiva. Satchidananda, Lord Shiva. Advaita, Lord Shiva. Shunya, Lord Shiva. There's nothing other than him. Shiva is everything, right? The yoga, everything is Lord Shiva. I'm not trying to, impose that opinion. If we understand Lord Shiva, we understand spirituality. If we emulate Lord Shiva, we will evolve and dissolve. What are the things? Sthita Prajna, Nirvichara, Nirvikalpa, Satchidananda, Grihastha, which is called as Chandrasekhara. He looks after the whole world, yet he is in a meditative state. How one has to be. Once we emulate Lord Shiva, we attain moksha or mukti. There are things of Lord Shiva, which attributes of Lord Shiva, as in what he carries, how he is being depicted in the human form, how he is being depicted. Lord Shiva has the third eye. We talk about the moment we see the third eye. Third eye denotes many things. It's one of the Ashtamaha Siddhis also, the past, present, and the future, the one who can see. As a yogi, once your third eye or the Agnya Chakra opens up, you have opened your gateway to the cosmic travel, cosmic realm. There is the only way to enter into the cosmic realm is through opening the Agnya Chakra, which is the third eye of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva opens his third eye in anger and destroys and burns Kama. Kama, the person or who disturbs the meditative state of Lord Shiva by shooting an arrow at him, arrow of flowers or whatever. Shiva gets disturbed. So he opens his third eye and he gets destroyed symbolically. When you open your third eye, the eye of enlightenment, the unnecessary lust, kama is lust. Then lust, people who are engrossed in lust, due to which their meditative state gets disturbed, Lord Shiva destroys it and burns it into ashes. That is Lord Shiva. It's not that he got angry and opened his third eye. He cannot be disturbed at all. It is a Puranic story how Kama has been given a name of a person or a person who is disturbing Lord Shiva. In other words, when the lust, unnatural lust and Arishad Vargas, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, starts attacking us, disturbing us, he is the one who is a destroyer of the Arishad Vargas, starting with Kama. That is Lord Shiva. Right? Then, if you see Lord Shiva, he's also been called as a slayer of Tripurasura. Tripurasura is nothing but is the kingdom of Maya. Mayasura, Tripurasura, they both were killed. Two Asuras. Asuras are demon kings. Demons, rather. Both the demons were killed by Lord Shiva in a fierce battle. In other words, Lord Shiva is a slayer of Maya. Capital of Maya is Tripura. Nothing to do with Tripura Rahasya of Dattatreya's teaching to Parashurama. Lord Shiva is a destroyer of Tripura, which is the kingdom of Maya. It's symbolic. When we emulate Lord Shiva, we are above Maya, is what it goes on to say, right? If you see a lot of other iconographies, like, he has a Trishula. Trishula symbolizes the one who has control on all the three gunas: Tamasika, Rajasika, Satvika, Jnana, Bhakti, Karma, the creation, preservation, and the destruction. Everything is symbolized in the Trishula, the trident, which Lord Shiva carries. There is his Mount Nandi. Nandi is the most obedient. It never leaves the master. It's always as a shadow, symbolic representation, Nandi. He has a Damaru. Damaru is the symbolic representation of time, the never-ending Damaru, and also the representation, symbolic representation of the beginning. First came the sound. Sound became the energy, energy to matter. So once the Sakshi to Shabdha, when we are talking about the primordial level, it was a sound. That is also in the control of Lord Shiva. He has got the Ganga tied into his jata, the matted hair. What does it mean? The controller of elements. We have this story that, you know, Bhagirath, forefather of Lord Rama, worships, and there is a famine and drought. So he worships the gods of the heaven, and from heaven comes Ganga. And that fierce form of Ganga is nobody is able to control. So Bhagiratha again worships Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva takes Ganga and ties at his within his matted hair and quietly flows Ganga in a moderate way. Controller of elements. However fierce the elements are, whatever it is, Lord Shiva can control even the elements of the nature. Nothing goes without, um, you know, without the control of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, the Rudraksha that he wears, what does it mean? Rudraksha, the Rudraksha's quality is to keep a person in a state of perfect balance, emotional balance. Rudraksha assists a person in attaining a state of Sthita Prajna. Rudraksha helps a yogi in balancing the Ida Pingala Nadi and coming and staying in Sushumna Nadi. That is the attribute of Rudraksha. What Lord Shiva always wears on himself. And Ganas. Ganas of Lord Shiva, what do they symbolize? They are extremely unmanageable. They are fierce, unpredictable. They have a mind of their own. They can do anything. However, a person's mind is chanchala. Chanchala means fickle-mindedness. If you have to get the focus, Lord Shiva. If you emulate Lord Shiva, there you get the focus. So the Shiva Ganas, however they are, whatever the attributes they have, they are in control of Lord Shiva. Finally, if we see, Lord Shiva is Bhasmadari. He is smeared with Bhasma. People also call it as Chita Bhasma. Chita Bhasma is the ashes from the crematorium after a corpse is confined to flames, the ashes that come out. So he has smeared himself with Chita Bhasma. What does it symbolize? Ultimate truth. Ashes to ashes. There is nothing which is yours. Everything is an illusion. Don't remain in the state of illusion. Stay calm. Pursue your spiritual progression. Don't get caught in the influence of Maya. All these attributes of Lord Shiva is what is the one which need to be practiced and emulated by a yogi. These are the attributes of Lord Shiva. This is how we Avadhutas understand Lord Shiva, right? So finally, to conclude, the same thing what we discussed all this while about Lord Shiva, it goes on to say in one word, Shivoham, Shivoham, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. What does Shivoham mean? Shivoham means two things. You are the Shiva, non-dualism, or emulate Lord Shiva, and become the Shiva. So this is all about Lord Shiva. Shivoham, Shivoham, nothing other than Shiva. As yogis, as avadhutas, we have to emulate Lord Shiva to attain the ultimate oneness with thyself. Because we are the same Shiva whom we are trying to emulate, we are already that, right? This is few words in few sentences we try to understand Lord Shiva. Thanks for the patient hearing. Sai Ram.